Now, story time. I remember when I went to the gym for the first time. I saw a really cute girl and I thought, Kaosora, show her your strength. She'll be impressed when she sees how strong you are. After all, the guys around you are carrying the weights easily, so it'll be a piece of cake. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. I couldn't even lift the weights that the guys called light weights. So much for showing off. When I went home that day, everything seemed fine except my self-esteem. But when I woke up the next day, my muscles were so sore. I couldn't even lift my arms. I was in so much pain and I was very close to cancelling my gym subscription. Watching anime was one of the only things I could do, and when I watched it, it made me motivated enough to try again. And after a while, working out became a habit. Here's how anime helped me build a habit out of something I didn't want to do again. I defined my goals clearly. After my failed attempt to impress that cute girl in the gym, I decided to go back to my original goal, which was the reason I came to the gym in the first place. I wanted a nice body so I look more handsome than I was. Setting a goal, no matter how vain it was the first step I took to turn working out into a habit, and going to the gym also had some strange benefits. I felt better after exercising every day, and it was fun. I learned this after I watched the first episode of One Punch Man. Saitama set a goal of being so strong that he'd be able to beat any opponent he faced with a single punch, hence the name One Punch Man, so I just stole his whole flow. Setting a goal gave me direction and a purpose, and well, everything else came after. And to begin, I had to start small. In my first proper gym session without ulterior motives, I discovered I was so weak. After all, I said I couldn't lift light weights, so I started by carrying ultra light weights in the corner of the gym where no one could see me, so that I hide my shame. Noodle arms, what can I say? And the thing is that I would get tired after carrying those light weights for a few sets. Those were tough times. After a while, I saw that I could carry those weights comfortably, and I decided to level up because I had gotten the required EXP. I actually learned to start small by watching Yona struggle to become a master archer. At the beginning, she couldn't hit anything because she was a novice that was trying to hit moving birds. That's really difficult. When Hak saw that she couldn't do it, he had her start from basics and told her to make sure that she gets enough strength to draw the bow and have a steady aim. So he told her to focus on shooting straight, tutorial level stuff. When she could shoot straight, then she'd do more difficult tasks. So that made me start from the basics and go on from there. I could see some progress, but to make the progress realistic, I had to create a routine. I was going to the gym whenever I wanted and doing the exercises I loved doing. I was basically doing things randomly and I didn't make all-round progress doing it. After a while, I asked myself, what the freak am I doing wrong? And I discovered that I didn't have a routine, so I created one. If you're interested in my routine, you can copy it. It's basically Monday upper body, Tuesday lower body, Wednesday rest, Thursday upper body, Friday lower body, Saturday and Sunday rest. When I started following this routine, I was able to achieve a well-rounded physique by prioritizing some tasks and focusing on them. I basically stole Saitama's flow again. If you're an anime fan, you most probably heard of Saitama's workout routine. You know, the 100 squats, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and a 10-kilometer run every day. He followed that routine even though he felt like dying, and he could see progress after a while. I mean, he could see the hair loss. He also became really strong though, so I copied his idea of developing a routine to make my new habit of going to the gym stick. And after that, I decided to track my progress. Now, I wasn't doing this for the strength. I was doing this to have a great body, and most times I look at the mirror to see how my body had changed. Soon after, my tight clothes became unusable and I had to get new clothes and give the others out to people who wanted them. I even bought baggy shirts and set myself the challenge of getting a body that could fill those shirts, and little by little, I got closer to the goal. Seeing how far I came gave me the motivation to stick to working out and shorten the distance to my goal. Blue Lock Season 1 was airing around the time this story took place, and when I watched the students in the Blue Lock facility track their progress and use it as motivation, I thought to myself, hey, I can do that too, and I started to use it too. And that's not the only thing I learned from Blue Lock. I learned to celebrate the small wins. When I watched Blue Lock, I saw Isagi and the rest of the students in Blue Lock celebrate every goal and savor every win. And I thought to myself, I don't have to wait until I hit a major milestone to celebrate. I mean, that's even too long. I can also celebrate the small wins too, and I prefer that approach. The students got better food every time they scored a goal, so I decided to reward myself with something nice anytime I hit a small milestone. It was also a bit like bribing myself, since it gave me more motivation to get the next small win, or maybe hit a major milestone next. But I couldn't hit those milestones without eliminating distractions. I used to be someone who gets easily distracted. After all, I noticed a cute girl before everything else in the gym, and look how well that turned out. So to follow the routine that I mentioned earlier as smoothly as possible, I had to eliminate all distractions. Fight going on in the gym. Sorry, I can't hear you through my headphones. Cute girl calling me when I'm in the middle of a workout. Please do not disturb me. I'll ignore you until I'm done with that set of workouts. Even ego had to create a facility away from the outside world, which is full of distractions. I mean, we live in that world. That was necessary to create the best striker in the world, and it shows how easily distractions can prevent you from hitting the targets. After blocking out everything that was distracting me, I had to be consistent. Now, staying consistent is hard as freak. I struggle to go to the gym sometimes. After all, it's easier to play video games at home than to sweat and punish yourself at the gym. But I decided to push through it and stay consistent after I watched C train his ass off to be the Eminence in Shadow. He trained himself in every martial art he could find, and when he got reincarnated in the other world, he used the knowledge he had and combined it with the magic power in the other world while training like a madman. If Sid could throw everything away to achieve his goal, I could postpone the video game I was playing, even though it hurts. So anytime I had to go to the gym, I decided to show, even though I didn't want to. Anytime I get to the gym, I usually gain the drive to walk. I don't know how it happens. Now consistency is great, but I hit some bumps in the road, so I had to learn from my mistakes. I started showing up to the gym, but I was doing the wrong thing consistently. And one thing about doing the wrong thing at gym is that you still get the gains, but not at the muscle that you're targeting, which is actually kind of funny. I was doing the bench press wrong for a long time, and instead of growing my chest, it grew my triceps, and I wasn't interested in growing them at the time. When I saw that I was making a mistake, I corrected it, and my chest started growing the way I wanted. Watching Isagi constantly learn from his mistakes made me consider it too, and it worked for me. Now I'd be able to identify my mistakes sooner if I found a mentor. So there was a day I was doing the bench press, and this muscular guy came to me and said, "Your form is very bad. I'll teach you the right way." Now I was a little angry because he was so blunt about it, but I decided to take the suggestion and I was able to leave the bar in the right form. After that, we became friends, although it doesn't take a lot for guys to become friends. He also guided me in the perfect form to do squats because I was doing them wrongly. There are times when I wanted to give up and he'll shout, "One more rep!" And when I do the rep, he'll shout, "One more rep again!" And I'll be like, "Freak you man, freak you," while doing another rep. One rep would turn to 4 until I was well and truly spent. He even made me lift heavier weights than what I originally wanted. And after I lifted those weights, I discovered I could do it after all. I just needed a little push. I used his experience to reach my desired physique quickly. When Boji wanted to get stronger, he decided to meet Beelzebub, a man who had a reputation of making his students stronger. He found the perfect weapon for Boji, gave him advice, and trained him to become the strongest he can be. So after I did all this, going to the gym became a habit. If you want to form a new habit or if you want to make hard things easy, then you can follow these steps and change the base to suit your particular goal. All you have to do is set a goal, start small, create a routine, track your progress, celebrate your small wins, try to stay focused by getting rid of distractions, be consistent, learn from your mistakes and find a mentor, and you make the habit stick. The names of the anime I used to be in the description, and they are really good, so give them a watch. Thanks for watching. Please interact with this video positively. You can like, you can subscribe, you can share this video to anyone who needs it. It could be your dad, your mom, your bro, your bestie, your newborn baby, your pet, it could be whoever. And if you enjoyed this video or if it helped you, leave a comment. I'm a small channel, so I'll definitely interact with it. We could have a discussion over there. Remember to take care of yourself, eat tasty food, drink water, and watch anime. And I'll see you in the next video.